How many of you have seen someone dying right next to you? There are some critical moments in our lifetime that give us the strength to continue. It could be a traumatic experience such as natural disaster or an accident. Today, I would like to share a very personal experience that I endured that affected me so much that I can now get through any difficulties in my life. Beforehand, I would like to mention that I'm so grateful for everything that I have today. I try my best not to take anything for granted because this is now my second life. Okay, what do I mean by second life here? On March 25th, 1993, I was lying in the hospital almost unconscious. I had been bleeding from my nose for more than 10 days. My face was as white as a ghost. I was 11 and I remember that I saw my parents sobbing through the window of the emergency room while a group of doctors were telling something. Later, I found out that I contracted leukemia. As you may know, leukemia is a type of cancer which is considered an incurable disease with a survival rate of less than 50%. I was immediately hospitalized after my blood test and bone marrow biopsy results confirmed my diagnosis, and that was the very beginning of my endless treatment for the disease. At first, my parents were desperate to find blood donors because I severely lacked blood to help me not only to stop the bleeding, but also to fight the disease. My parents called all of my relatives and their friends, and they even asked the local newspaper reporter to write an article to find blood donors. One of my cousins, who was serving at the military, told his commander about my story, and many of his camp soldiers gladly donated their fresh blood, and it is still running through my veins. During treatments, I often suffered high fevers, and I had constant blood tests and shots, which virtually ruined all of the veins on my hands. I also experienced hair loss due to the strong chemotherapy. Above all, the most fearful treatment was bone marrow biopsy, which was done on a weekly basis. And it was so dreadful because doctors did not put me under anesthesia when they were inserting a long and sharp needle into my spine. I had to bend my back, lying on a bed, directly feeling the needle penetrating into my body. A shiver ran down my spine, and I screamed while naming all of the gods that I knew to help me escape from this agony. A couple of patients who shared the hospital room with me simply passed away while they were fighting the same disease. A girl next to my bed, whose parents denied her blood transfusion because of their religious beliefs, eventually died. Witnessing someone right beside me dying was a shocking experience for an 11-year-old boy. I felt like I was losing a comrade in a battle, and it was one of the most heartbreaking moments in my life. However, strangely enough, watching someone dying somehow strengthened my resolve to survive. I suppose that I might have wanted from the bottom of my heart to show those blood donors that I successfully overcame the disease. So I decided then and there to do my best to overcome the disease. I prayed every single day to God to help me fight the disease. Miraculously, I was able to endure painful treatments for 3 years. My health gradually recovered, and finally, my will to survive defeated this horrible disease, and I was able to prove to myself to whom I owe my life. Ironically, my terrible childhood experience at the hospital has become a fuel that has helped me to bear through other difficult moments in my life. Whenever I had hard times growing up, I always reminded myself of long, agonizing treatments I endured. Without the experience of fighting leukemia, I'll never have overcome other adversities in my life. Before I wrap up my presentation, I would like to introduce myself. I've been working as a Coast Guard for the last 10 years. It is a great honor for me to serve for the people I love, and the fact that I can assist people in need is the most valuable and rewarding experience. Whenever I see people rescued from distress with my little help, I feel as if I am repaying the favor that I received from many different unknown people when I was sick as a child. I hope to return this benevolence to anyone in need so long as this blood continues to course through my body. Thank you.